Welcome to class. As always, we're going to start today's session with a little bit of mindfulness. Get rooted into our bodies and our breath. Got a small class here in person. That's okay. We're going to be focusing on hips and back. Find that comfortable seated position and go ahead and take your shoulders, reach them up towards your ears, allow them to melt down your back, and do that circle motion 3 or 4 times. Bringing your breath into the practice, a deep inhale as you lift the shoulders and an exhale as you allow them to drop down. On your last breath, allow the shoulders to completely loosen. Maybe even give them a little shake. Lift through the crown of your head, and with your palms, you can either place them down against your knees in a position of groundedness, if that's what you're needing or looking for today. Or you can flip them up, palms facing towards the sky in a position of receptivity. There's no right or wrong, but we can position our bodies in ways that align with our intentions, our energy. Take a deep inhale in through your nose and allow your belly, your rib cage, your back to fill with oxygen, holding at the top of that breath for a count of 3 or 4, and then slowly allowing that breath to leak back out through the nose. A little constriction in the back of the throat. Your ujjayi breath, your oceanic breath, containing 3 parts: the inhale, the hold, and the exhale. The swelling of the wave as we breathe deeply in, expand in all directions. Feel the power of your breath, holding at the top, that little pause moment, the top of the world, and then as we exhale, that crash, that gentle release towards the shore, a rolling wave. As you breathe, imagine that oxygen moving down into your hips, into your pelvic floor. Let everything release. You're not holding tension in your belly. You're not holding tension in your pelvis. You're not holding tension in your hips. You are loose. With your next inhale, invite your hands out to your sides and lift them up over your head. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring that right hand to the left knee and look over your shoulder. Little twist. Bringing out the spine, sitting up nice and tall. Continuing to breathe. Inhale, lift back to the center. And exhale, twist to the other side. Use your hand to put a little bit more tension into that twist. Breathe into any tightness in that back. Almost like you're trying to soften the muscle tissue, using that increase of oxygen. Relaxing into the stretch. Inhale, lift the hands back to center. And as you exhale, splay the fingertips, pulling the elbows down to your sides. Lift the heart. Little mini back bend here. Inhale, lift the fingers. Interlace the hands, press the palms up towards the sky, and as you exhale, press the hands towards the front of the room, towards me, allowing the head and the neck to relax. Pull the shoulder blades apart, big stretch through the upper back. Breathe. Inhale, open the hands up wide, bring them back behind the back, interlace the fingers, pull down, open the chest, sit up nice and tall. Allow your shoulders to melt away from the ears. And then release the hands forward and down to your sides. We're going to roll up over the knees here. Hands ground beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Little rocking motion, bringing a little bit of movement to the spine, to the neck. Breathing. And as you feel ready and led, find stillness in the pose. Pull your belly button into your spine. Ground your toes. Lift your heart out towards the front of the mat. Deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, round the spine towards the sky. Drop the head and neck. Tuck the tailbone. Inhale, scoop the belly. Lift the tailbone and heart as one big stretch. And then exhale, reach that spine back up towards the sky. Tuck your tailbone. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart and tailbone as one. Cow pose. Exhale, cat. Blow all the air away. And then inhale, cow. Exhale, find stillness in the pose. We're going to go ahead and reach the left fingertips up towards the sky, stacking the shoulders as much as we can. And as you exhale, go ahead and take that palm underneath the opposite armpit, allowing the shoulder to fully collapse, the gaze to come towards those fingertips. Breathe into the shoulder here. You can take those grounding fingertips and move them out to the side a little bit if that helps you take the shoulder a little bit flatter into the mat. Breathe. One more deep breath here. And with that exhale, ground your hand underneath your shoulder. Press into it to lift the left fingertips back up. Stack the shoulder. And then exhale. Hands come down to the mat, little rock back. Mini child's pose here. And then lift through the spine back into all fours. Reground. Heart moves forward. Take your weight into your left hand, now reaching the right fingertips up. Stack the shoulders open into a twist. And as you exhale, weave that hand beneath the opposite armpit. Again, palm facing up, allowing that shoulder to come all the way down. Your left fingertips can spider web out to the side, give you a little bit more leverage. Breathe. Send your breath into your shoulder, into your spine. Remembering those deep belly breaths. Those long, exaggerated exhales. One more deep breath in. And with that exhale, ground the left hand beneath the left shoulder, press into it, reach the right fingertips up into a twist, and then exhale that hand down. Rock your tailbone back onto your heels. Reach your fingertips behind you, palm facing up. Balasana here. One deep breath. And then go ahead and take your hands back in front of you, palms down, lifting through the torso. We're going to come all the way up here and then slowly walk the hands out in front of us, releasing the heart down to the mat in puppy pose. The goal here is to align the hips right over the back of the knees, nice 90-degree angle, allowing the heart to descend towards the mat. Your forehead should be planted down, allowing yourself to relax into this pose as much as possible. And when you're ready, begin to shift your weight forward, keeping your forearms planted. Your hips will move into the mat. Release your legs about hip width apart. Roll your hips into the mat to release the glutes. Nothing should be turned on in the glutes. Relax them. Lift through the crown of the head and breathe. You should feel this stretch not in your low back, but right above your low back. Remember, if you feel that tension intensify, release the glutes by rocking the hips gently. And then slowly slide the hands beneath the shoulders. We're going to do what we call a press up, taking a deep breath in through the nose. Then we're going to exhale and press up, and then allow the heart to come forward. Repeat this a few more times, moving to the beat of your own breath, only coming up as far as what you feel comfortable. But what we're doing here is we're restoring a little bit of mobility in the discs of our low back. This is a common exercise in SEL physical therapy, so we like to weave it in here. Helps prepare our backs for any additional kind of movement, stretching, and support. Go ahead and weave one more in. And then slowly allow the heart to descend. Taking the hands in front of you, make a nice little pillow, and then rest your forehead right in the center of them. I want you to go ahead and begin to rock the hips into the mat. This is going to loosen up that hip joint. Telling your nervous system that it's okay to relax. Gentle rocking movement. And then go ahead and find stillness. Breathe into the belly, notice any changes. Your hips should be And legs should be about hip width apart. With the tops of your feet grounded into the mat, I want you to gently go ahead to rock your heels back and forth, keeping the tops of the feet grounded. Heels moving to and fro. Again, telling your nervous system it's okay to be calm. Loosening up the hips very gently. You can play with the pace, rocking a little faster, a little slower. Continuing to breathe. And then find stillness. One more little rock. We're going to go ahead and take our feet up towards the sky. And we're just going to gently allow the legs to fall from one side to the other. You can play with the range of motion, so you can do this a little bigger or a little smaller. Notice the difference between letting them fall only an inch or two versus all the way side to side. As you breathe, you should experience a loosening in those muscles that run in your deep abdominal wall, keeping the hips locked. Breathe as deeply into this area of the belly as you can. We're unlocking the diaphragm, psoas. And then go ahead and find stillness. Allow your heels to connect or move towards your glutes. And then release the legs one at a time so that the tops of the feet hit the mat. Taking your hands once again beneath your shoulders. You're going to take your toes, flex them into the mat. Bring your shoulders up towards your ears and back. And if you can, in one movement, harden through the belly button to spine, and lift the body up into a plank and find downward facing dog. Bend through the knees, wide fingers, feet hip width apart. Feel that stretch through the back of the leg. Deep breath into the back, into the backs of the thighs. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and lift that left toe. And as you exhale, pull it through between the hands into a low lunge. Nice and strong on this low lunge. Hands to frame the foot. Deep breath in as you feel that strength through the front of the hip flexor as you press your hip back. Your heel has some tension in it. And then we're going to take a deep breath in and then lift the left fingertips up, opening into a twist. Exhale, hand comes back down to frame the foot. Release the top of that shin. And then go ahead and find that nice little stretch in the front of the hip flexor. We can take the hands one at a time to the upper thighs to bring the torso up. And then we curl that tailbone back to intensify the stretch on the front of the hip. We lift through the crown of the head. I want you to take whatever hand position feels like it's calling out to you today. So you can take the hands to the art, or you can go ahead and lift them up. No right or wrong variation, even if you'd like to keep them planted on the hips for stability. Play with this. But whatever you choose, send your breath into the front of that hip. Unlock it. Honor it. If your arms are lifted, go ahead and take them down to prayer. And then open up towards that hip. Come back into prayer. And then open up to the other side. Flow through this a couple of different times, meeting in the middle every time. One nice, beautiful flow. And then staying here in the center. Notice the difference in your hips. Deep breath as you press the hands up. And then exhale. Bring the hands down to frame the foot. Flip that back toe into the mat, lift up, and step back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, left toe points up. Pull it through between the hands into a low lunge. And then we're going to go ahead and press back and switch sides. Inhale, right toe. Exhale, pull through. And we repeat the sequence on the other side, pressing back through that heel, nice and strong. You can bring a little bit of movement in if that feels good. And then go ahead and plant that left hand to the inside of that foot and lift into a twist. Beautiful. Deep breath in as you reach the fingertips a little bit higher, and then exhale, go ahead and bring them down to frame the foot. We're going to go ahead and take that left shin down and gently pick the torso up. As we rotate the tailbone back, find that stretch in the front of the hip flexor. 90-degree angle in that front leg. And again, settle into this, find your breath, and when you're ready, you can pick the hand variant that feels like it's calling your name today. We're lifting through the crown of the head no matter where we are, and sending our breath into the front of that hip flexor. For those of you who have your fingertips lifted, make sure that your shoulders are pressed down, away from the ears, energy moving up through those fingertips. Breathe. We're going to pull into that flow, so pulling the hands down. We're going to go ahead and open towards the leg, meeting back to prayer, and gently opening in the other direction. Meeting at prayer every time. Nice gentle flow, getting some movement in the spine while we also stretch the front of that hip. One more time each side. Meeting at center. Breathe. Inhale, we lift the hands up. Exhale. Hands down to frame the foot. Press that bottom toe into the earth. Press up. One more time. Go ahead and open up towards that leg. And then exhale, the hand comes down. and step back to downward facing dog. Slowly release the shins down to the mat, to the wide edges, big toes together. As you sink your tailbone onto your heels, stretch your fingertips forward, release the forehead fully down, give it a little rock back and forth. Send your breath into your hips, into your back. Relax any tension in the arms now. And when you feel ready, go ahead and walk the hands back towards the torso. And we're going to go ahead and fall onto one side of the hips and come all the way down. Knees up towards the sky. For our last stretch, we're going to go ahead and bring it to the outside of that hip flexor. So that left foot, ankle, stacks on the right knee, right underneath of it. We lift the legs up off the mat, grab the hands through onto the shin, trying to keep that left knee moving out and down. So the stretch should be on the outside of that hip flexor. Breathe into the stretch. Relax the belly. Slowly release, untangle the legs. We're going to go ahead and repeat on the other side. Stacking the right ankle underneath the left knee, picking everything up, reaching between that figure four onto that left shin. Flex the right foot. Pull that right knee out and down. Big stretch on the outside of that hip flexor. Relax your belly. Release that down. Untangle the legs. And then pull your knees into your chest one at a time, allowing the knees to fall open to either side, little opening for that inner thigh area. If you'd like, you can take a little happy baby by grabbing the inside arch of the feet, kicking your feet up towards the sky, maybe giving a little rock side to side. when you so choose. Let the timing be up to you for pulling those knees in and extending the legs out for final Shavasana. But feel free to take Happy Baby for as long as you'd like. Reflect on what's going on in your hips, in your back, these areas that we store so much tension. Honor whatever feelings are coming up as you release. Be present in your body as we conclude our practice with breath. When you feel ready and lit, you can go ahead and roll onto one side and use your top facing hand to gently press the torso back up. Coming into a seated position for final salutations. Thank you for joining me today. The little class announcement, I sent an email earlier, but this will be our last week of practice. I will be out of the office next week, and unfortunately, so will my backup. So we will end this week, but we will be coming back together the week of June 22nd if you would like to register for the next session of classes. The session will go 6 weeks. So if you're interested in signing up for this class or another SEO Wellbeing class, you can go ahead and follow the link in my email or come speak with me. But I appreciate you showing up today, not just for me, but for yourself. I'm going to send you back out into this beautiful, windy but sunny day with one love.